The edit here was so shady. But anyway,
Oh, again, it
she
is
can't
what it
say
is.
anything, guys. She can't say anything.
Yeah.
We're saying it for her.
It is what it is. It is what the NDA says it is.
Hey everyone, I've got a special episode today. I've got a special guest, the calculating queen of Drag Race Philippines, the co-host of Bekenemen, and the person who uplifted the drag community single-handedly. It's Myx Chanel.
Hi, Bodhi.
Hi,
Hi,
Mix.
everyone.
Thank you for joining me in the show. And I
Yes,
know
of
that
course.
you're
I mean, I've seen clips of your show floating around online. Then I've passively listened to the show in my free time.
thank you, thank you. And I know that it's super busy. It's a very busy season, and I know
Yeah.
that we're all wrapping up. To the viewers, we are recording this before the grand finale, so it's really a moment in time that I was able to catch Mick. So thank you first of all, and maybe
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
thank you. Ang daming thank you. So maybe just to kick it off, right? First of all, how are you feeling these days, especially with the episodes that have been running, actually the entire season?
Well, basically, the one word I can say to summarize my feeling of the season is overwhelmed. Sometimes in the best way, sometimes not really. But it's been overwhelming. The response of the people has been like quite intense. I am like quite close. I've worked closely with a lot of the season 1 and 2 girls.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a lot of them before the show even came out. So parang I've gotten an outsider's perspective of how much like life changes for a Ru girl.
Yeah,
And I still did not expect the
all of it
degree
to happen.
that yeah. And I think also like slight observation ko, yesterday I was at the Olivia Rodrigo concert
Mm.
and there were so many people recognizing me. It was a little bit of a
Shit.
safety concern. Like it,
Ay,
it got to a point that it was almost like a safety concern of like this might suddenly turn into a meet and greet in the hundreds. Like if I'm not
wow.
careful. So parang ngayon ko na-realize like much how big the reach is of our season. And yeah,
Yes.
it's a lot to navigate, but I'm very grateful for everyone's support.
Great, great. And I mean, I just want to say also like the reach of season 3, besides the because of the quality of it, I think because it's season 3 and there's like been a build up of things.
Yes, exactly.
So a lot of people, like so many international reactions also were just watching the show. So which means everything that you're doing is amplifying more and
Yeah,
more.
hey girl.
So speaking of amplifiers, um one of the things when you started off, like before the episode started, I watched live of you and Eva, your drag mother, and then you were
Yes,
talking about how you didn't know what was going to be shown, right? Because you were saying there were a lot of hours that were filmed, but you didn't know what would
yes.
end up in the edit. I wanted to ask you because now retrospectively we've seen how the edit went, but what did you think your edit was gonna be when the filming had just ended?
Not that. Not that that I did get. I don't know. It's like
Production shady daw
you can't
kayo, sabi niya. Joke.
that's don't put words in my mouth. A lot of people on Twitter do that
Eh,
already,
oo.
as it is.
Wala akong sinabi, guys. Sorry.
No, it's a lot kasi. Parang the filming process, it's a lot of like many highs and lows.
Mm.
And like I could only try to predict so much, as a podcaster myself, as someone that has, parang tried to dive into the production, the
Mm-mm.
storytelling aspect of things. It's hard to really determine what they're gonna make of your story because it's also like if you think about it, it's the stories of 11 different girls
Mm. Yes.
and they're trying to mash it up all together in a way that kind of makes sense with
Oo,
everyone, but also in a way
nag-cohesive.
na what story they want to tell because they are telling the story backwards. Like before they go into the editing booth, they do know who is going to last longer. They know whose storylines are like much more
Mm.
valuable to tell. Like basically speaking, I didn't know what to expect, and that was what gave me a lot of anxiety, honestly.
Mhm.
As quite an introverted person, it took a lot. It really made me anxious to kind of give
To
someone reins
anticipate.
over my narrative in a way.
I'm hoping that it's dying down now, the anxiety, since everything has aired. As a PSA to everyone watching, drag queens are human. They are people who are who are at the end of the day reading your comments, etc. So please be kind, and don't at the queens and be assholes. PSA lang.
That part.
Anyway, maybe let's move on. Speaking of the season itself, right? What was your favorite look?
Well, definitely it has to be fractals, the fractals look. That's the one I feel like
Same.
I got the most visceral reaction from the judges.
It
I
was so
remember parang
good.
yeah, I remember the moment I walked out. So I don't think it's a secret, though. I don't think I'm breaking any NDAs by saying that we do the runways twice, once with
Mhm.
music, once with, and the other time with judges commentary. I remember parang the first runway pa lang, like when it was supposed to be with music, pagkalabas ko pa lang, the verbal reaction that the judges gave it was something I'm probably gonna a memory that I'm probably gonna carry with me for a long time because that made me feel really good.
Mhm.
And I needed that in that moment. But also I really loved my Kumot Couture look because I made it quite the concept I
That
had
was
for it is
pure
quite
couture,
personal.
yes.
Parang for me, the story behind that kasi is like I wanted it to basically parang batang like wrapped in a big blanket, but like the fully realized glamour
A
version.
dragged
So
up version of that.
yeah. That and probably the look I'm gonna wear for the finale episode.
Ayan.
So abangan niyo na lang. Well,
Abangan, guys. Actually, by the time this airs, by the time this interview drops, you would have seen it already. So you'll probably see
yes.
the photos. So very excited to see the your finale look.
Thank you.
And I think I know, but what were your favorite challenges for the season besides the unless you're gonna say, well, the ones I won, Bodhi, obviously.
um, the first two challenges were a lot of fun. Kasi parang, well, you're still on that high of, oh my God, I'm on Drag Race. So I had a
Mm.
lot of fun in that one. I did enjoy the girl group up until the deliberations.
Oh
um,
no.
it
Eh,
probably has to be the Rusical and the Makeover. Parang those two episodes back to back were just some of the best times during filming.
yeah, and I think there we could actually see you lightening up. Yung parang you weren't as anxious during those times.
Mhm.
You were super happy with what you delivered some musical. Tapos you were so happy seeing your best friend, right?
I know. Yeah. Yeah, parang it was it honestly having like my friend with me on the show kind of felt like a treat because I'm
Mm.
like I was anxious for like three challenges straight and then no musical and then I got good critiques. It's like, okay, you did a good job. So like my best friend coming in, it's like now here's your reward for doing it. Parang ganun yung
Oh,
feeling niya. It's like I got it's like I got a gift because I did well in the musical. That's how it felt like to me.
oh, that's
And
nice to
honestly,
hear.
that was the challenge na parang least competitive. Parang we were all just trying to give our loved
Mm.
ones a good time and not really competing with each other.
Yeah. And actually sa Untucked then, which was it was very, hanging out with all of your loved
Yes.
ones. So yeah, that was a very heartwarming episode.
And also kasi parang I think that untucked, like, kalahati medyo parang, yeah, we were seven,
S-
ano ba? Seven na lang nung time na yon.
Mm.
So, parang having other people in the workroom, parang napuno kami ulit. You do kind of feel the numbers dwindling. You do kind of feel the room getting quieter and quieter. So by that point, parang nung we had like twice the amount of people in the workroom, parang ano lang talaga siya, parang nabuhay yung workroom that day.
Well, speaking of speaking of the workroom na nabubuhay ulit, in the last episode when you all came back for the
Oh,
drag council. And
Yes.
if I may ask, how are you feeling during that episode? Or actually, if you can answer, um, were you all told to look bitchy? That was
Yes,
the
we were.
brief. Please look bitchy, guys, and look stare them
Yes.
down in full drag.
Yeah. Um, and knowing me kasi I do have quite an expressive face. My face has its
Yes.
own subtitles most of the time. Um, to kind of like since yun nga yung brief, parang we all had to look kind of catty. That day I tried taping up my face for the first time, like you tape on my temples and then pulling it back.
Uh-uh.
I tried face tape for the first time. That's why my face wasn't moving as much that day. And I hated it. I could not close my eyes properly. I could not blink properly.
Shit.
That was the first and last time I ever tried doing that.
Oh my god. And during that reception, and it's done now. So obviously,
Yeah.
I feel like we always have to remind the audience that this happened a few months back. And
Yes.
so many things have died down. But I think everyone is just feeling their feelings as they're watching it. Um,
Yeah. And I think also there's a lot I noticed there's like an influx of new fans. Like a lot of new
yes.
fans of Drag Race in general. Like parang hindi pa sila nakakanood na any other franchise before, first time naman
This is
sa
their first
Philippines.
time. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So they don't really know how kumbaga parang they don't know how the cookie is made.
Uh-uh.
So I kind of get it, but yeah.
Yeah. And that's why ang dami nating mga PSA. Anyway. So, talking about what you've learned after these
Mhm.
past few, actually, what you've learned from the show, and then what you've learned the past few weeks with people watching the show, I guess is my question for you.
Well, one of the biggest
Huwag
things I
kang
learned
umiyak.
on Drag
Joke.
Race. No. One of the biggest things I learned on Drag Race is really I'm neurodivergent as fuck.
Mhm.
Like okay, just to like be very clear. I haven't gotten final diagnosis on anything, but I
Mhm.
have been seeing like a therapist the past few years. I just haven't like sought yung specialized tests that they have for like
Oo.
actual
The
neurodivergent
test.
determination. But yeah, I realized I'm neurodivergent as fuck, and that a lot of my friends,
Are
it's
also.
a yes, like my friends in real life. Parang ganun kasi, di ba? Medyo parang birds of a feather thing siya of like
Yes.
ADHD or like different types of neurodivergence. And I realized on the show how bad it was for me because
Mhm.
I got plucked from like an environment of
Of you're
basically like
all the
people that think the
same.
same way. Yeah,
Oo.
people that understand the way that I think into like a setting with less people
Oo.
like that, and I felt so weird a lot of the time.
Shit.
Parang I just felt like I think that's why people kind of like got on the whole you think too much or like you're overthinking too much thing. It's like y'all don't understand that's how I process.
Oo,
Like
oo.
that is the way my brain works. Like
Yes.
immediately when I'm given new information, my brain goes into overdrive trying to process all the
Yep.
details.
Yep. Yep.
Ganun lang talaga siya. So that's why when the judges were getting on me like, you think too much, you're too calculated, I'm like,
Ganun din,
how
ganun ka
to
naman
not?
talaga. Oo.
Parang, how do I not, like, am I actually capable of not? Like, is that something I'm actually like capable of? But yeah, parang, that's like lesson number
Oh.
one
Mhm.
for me from the show na parang, damn it. Like, not naman saying na I was like othered, but
Mm.
there were times where I felt different because I am.
Oo.
Like, I
Yes.
do
Mm.
think and process in a very different way.
But
And I
it was
felt
able
that
to
on the
portray your
show.
difference.
Yeah.
And kasi when it was happening also, my first thought basically was, oh my god, she's gonna get the Lucy Laduca edit, which is like she's trying to be so perfect and then she'll crack somewhere.
Lucy Laduca, your challenge.
Really, really well done. Thank you.
You did that. Sasha Colby, congratulations. You are the winner of this week's challenge. Lucy Laduca, you are safe. You are safe.
That was my first thought. Pero you talking about it now also this way, which is actually yung sa neurodivergence and then your different environment, which gives a lot more context to the calculatedness of Myx Chanel.
Yeah. Yeah, parang the edit is the edit. Honestly, I came into the season coming out being ready to just like
Roll
take
with
it.
the punches.
Yeah. Parang technically I signed up for it, parang
Yep.
as an overthinker, um and then consequently becoming an over explainer
Mm-mm.
because I don't like being misunderstood. Like that's
Mm-mm.
like an irrational thing with me. I don't like being misunderstood. So I tend to over explain a lot of things like I'm doing
Mm-mm.
now. I signed up to, let go, like loosen the reins
Mm-mm.
that I
Mm-mm.
have over like my own my own narrative, my own identity, the side of me or what aspects of me are like put out to the public. When getting on the show, I did kind of sign up to not be in charge of that.
Mm-mm. Yep.
And
Yep.
as a way to kind of curb the anxiety that I was getting, I kind of just had to learn and grow to accept that whatever story they want to tell, they will tell. And it's no longer in my hands. And that doesn't mean that who I am depicted to be on the show is exactly who I am. Parang a lot of
Yep.
things can be taken out of context. It's just
That's the way it
the
is.
show
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
Yeah.
So parang okay, kung ano man lalabas, bahala na. And as each episode comes out, I kind of have to be like, ang dami kong gusto sabihin, dami kong gusto reactions, but it is what it is.
Yes, yes. And I think one thing that you and Bao say in Bekenemen is the audience doesn't have the responsibility to get to know you, right? And what I want to say to that also is that that's true. But at the same time, because I myself have an audience, I do want them to get to know you more also. Probably they're already watching the Bekenemen one, so because you have a bigger reach. But just in case there are other people, again, Myx Chanel is a is a wonderful human being, and we're talking to the person right now. Okay. Any- Anyway,
I
maybe
mean,
moving
and also the
on.
soundtrack does a lot.
Ay nako,
The
oo.
scoring, the sound effects tells a completely different story, girl.
I just have to say, and this is gonna drop somewhere some other time because I did a collab with one of the other drag YouTubers on the reading challenges. And we were saying if Myx Chanel's reading challenge didn't have all of those sound effects, it was pretty okay. We actually scored you pretty good for that challenge.
Zymba Ding from the house of Ding. Unlike her mother, strong on branding. Pero sa Snatch Game, jokes weren't landing. Maxie!
You
Ang
rhyme.
laking alas na
Yeah.
ikay nakapag-queen of the universe. At least sa pag-alis sa competition, ikay nakapag-rehearse.
Hanggang dyan na lang tayo, yun na yun.
So, you know what? If they didn't add that shady
Sound effect.
sound effect,
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty okay.
Yeah, it was not bad. It was funny. It was creative.
Like it's not wale.
Yeah. I guess Sax. Sax from Myx Chanel.
Yay.
Yes.
And we were like, but the edit here was so shady. But anyway.
Again, it
She
is
can't
what
say
it is.
anything, guys. She can't say anything. We're saying it for her.
It is what it is. It is what the NDA says it is.
Well, speaking of
I was excited. I personally was excited for the reading challenge kasi parang I like the exercise of that, like how, especially like the way the
Mm-mm.
reading challenge on the US franchise works of like,
Yep.
ano yan, yung format of like compliment, shade, compliment. Yung parang, how do you make basically an insult sound not insulting? Kasi I think for me, that's like the essence of the reading challenges. That's why I took Maxie's read. So like, I really like Maxie's read.
Myx Chanel, anong feeling ng maliit yung mukha tas mahaba yung katawan? Dati ka bang sagwan?
That's funny.
A good read.
I love that.
Shouldn't make you feel offended. It should make you want to laugh at yourself.
That was a good
and that
read.
got me. Tawan-tawa ko. Like, I did not feel insulted. It was basically like an insult thrown at me, but it was so funny. I was in on the joke.
Uh-oh.
So I was so excited for the reading challenge on that aspect. And then nung sinabi nila sa amin na flip top pa din siya, I'm like, we're still trying to make this work, but okay, yes. I tried. I'm clearly not a flip topper.
But again, you weren't a flip topper, but I think you did an adequate job. Actually, more than adequate, in our opinion.
That's my new Twitter name, Myx Chanel.
Speaking of NDAs and not being able to say anything, we're gonna move on to this news to this old news section, which is where I'm going to say the name of one of your fellow queens,
Mhm,
and I want you to react with either your facial reaction or
mhm,
maybe one word about this queen.
okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, number one, Versex.
Visionary. I was so excited to see Versex in the cast. Because I have been following Versex for a while, and I have always been like amazed at how her styling works, at how her fashion
Mhm.
sense works. So like for me, she delivers such a fresh take on fashion. So I think Versex is really powerful visionary.
And I actually ended up loving her more during the last during the reunion.
Sino yung pinaka hindi mo, Ben? Gago, di ba? Si Myx and si JQuinn.
Because she was the lead. For some reason, she became the lead, the lead drag
She
counselor.
was ready. She was ready.
Okay. Number two, Yudipota.
Shady in the best way.
Okay.
Like
Elaborate, please.
If you watch some of Yudi's confessionals back,
Uh-huh.
she slings some of the best shade, but also like you don't.
It's not so
There's
insulting.
some. Oo, parang and also kasi she's such a sweet person din kasi.
Uh-huh.
So parang minsan like even kami pag nag-banter kami, parang minsan I'm like, Yudi, you know what? Coming from you, sure.
And I saw you coming up to defend her several times during the show.
Yeah, because I think I came in with a unique perspective of I've gotten to work with practically everyone. Actually, yeah. Before coming into the show, I got to work with everyone. I got to work with Khianna while she was here. Me and Yudi kind of came up in the same online drag circles during
Oo.
the pandemic. So parang I think I was the only one that knows everyone like at least somewhat
Kaya ang
personally.
taas ng expectations sa'yo eh.
I would, well, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, parang ayun, I knew everyone personally. So I knew the kind of like fashion and
Mm-mm.
perspective that Yudi brings to drag. And that's always something I've admired about her. Kasi no one's doing it like her. She's
Mhm.
not, hindi siya parang alternative siya, pero hindi lang siya goth. Hindi lang
Mm-mm.
siya glamour goth. Hindi lang siya witch. Parang she's, ano talaga, like a
Her
drag
own thing.
creature
Mhm.
but in a very opulent drag creature, if you get what I mean.
A very
So
opulent
parang alam ko what she
aswang.
brings to the table, and I was really like, wag niyo nga siyang anuhin, wag siyang anuhin. Magaling yan. Very ganun ako with her.
And I super lived when you were doing that. I super lived for you until I joke. Anyway.
You know what? Me on the show, I wasn't living for myself all the time either.
It's really not good for your mental health. And I hope that we're getting through that that portion of our lives. Okay, let's move on. Kay JQuinn.
Ooh. Hmm.
Hala?
Charande. JQuinn kasi is really like the person I was closest to before filming. And I think the getting on the show together is a different level of trauma bond on
Mm-mm.
top of our previous trauma bonds. So I love her so much, but I really felt for her when, things started happening for
Oo.
her in the episodes. It left a not so good taste in my mouth when people were kind of trying to use our friendship against us.
Ay. Yep.
Yeah. So parang that part is like, yung people.
Yeah.
I guess that's like, like that made me feel really sad. Na parang just because we're close, just because we're good friends, just because we've gone through a lot together. Really, parang all of a sudden, yung perceived character nila of her on the show, basta yun. Like, people can say what they want, but
Hala, nasad tayo. Wait. I just wanted to add because I did do an interview with her, right? So we
mhm,
went through basically the trauma of the show as
yeah.
well. And I think again shining a light on number one people. So PSA everyone. These are
Mhm.
humans. And then the number two is the fact that you're reliving something that happened already and then within the lens of other people watching.
Well, also
Anyway.
within the lens of, the story that production is trying to tell. Because that's something I'm
Mm,
emphasizing talaga na parang
yes.
production is trying to tell a story. And they're trying to tell, however many hours of filming,
Yeah.
condensing it into 1 hour. So may may certain aspects of a person that come out more than other aspects of them. Siguro one of the definitely one of the reasons why we're close is we are both neurodivergent. So we kind
Yes,
of
yes.
understand each other. And that's why parang nung nagkaroon ng fight with Khianna and Angel, I was there behind her calming her down because I
Yes,
do
you were
understand
there.
the way she reacts to things. Parang
Yep.
I do understand when she gets overstimulated, when she gets agitated. I pick up on those and try to parang like work her through them
Yep.
in as much as I could. But also I'm like, I don't fight my sister's battles.
Mm-mm. Mm.
Kumbaga parang we still keep a healthy distance of like, your relationships are not exactly my relationships. Your problems with
Correct.
other people are not my personal problems. Kasi I'm the kind of person din na, di porket kaaway ka ng friend ko, automatically kaaway na kita. Kasi
Mm-mm.
I think
Yep.
like, let's be adult enough to like, separate people from who they're friends with then, from
Yep.
who they're
Yep.
close with. To a certain degree, the association can sometimes be valid, pero parang, we're not our friends, exactly.
Correct.
Parang,
Correct.
our friends can influence us or we can influence our friends. Pero
It's not a
just because
one
like,
equals one. Yeah.
oo, exactly.
Okay. Maybe moving on to Popstar Bench.
Oh, Popstar Bench, she's a legend. Honestly, me and Bench are the same age. I was kind of like, nagulat ako to learn that. Because Bench has just been doing this for so long. Bench
And
has
now
Bench
I'm
has
wait,
been
I'm
doing drag.
reevaluating. I thought I knew your age, but now I'm like
Me and Bench are the same age. But she's been doing drag since she was 17. Basically, parang
ah,
drag and performing has really been her life, her bread and
uh-oh.
butter, or maybe like the better part rather, the better part of the last decade. And like she's been able to establish herself. She's literally a legend in the industry.
Yep, yep.
And what I look up to her more now, getting to know her, is she's really sweet.
Mm-mm.
She's a very very maternal figure talaga siya. Like, she was very with us. She was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
motherly in a way with us. Pero parang the cool mom, yung mom na kabarkada mo pa rin. Parang ganun yung vibe ni Bench sa'min.
I wish her package was better. But
Yeah, I
yan,
mean,
pang
she
All
went
Stars na kayong
into
lahat.
she went into it naman, and like alam mo parang she shared that frustration more times than what was shown because it was only shown once, but she
Oh,
was kind of like, yun yung alam naming
oo.
frustration niya throughout the entire experience talaga.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of, ang sad na makita someone who is so good kind of be crippled by external circumstances.
Yep. Yep. Speaking of external circumstances, ay, joke, hindi. John Fedellaga.
The most clever. Like, honestly, si John yung tipong pagkausap mo siya kahit seryoso, mahahanapan niya ng way na magpasok ng punchline ng hindi ka ma-off. Like, hindi yung parang, hala si bakla, parang hindi ko naman maseryoso to. Parang just to make things light. To
Oo.
like, to make things light. Ganun siya. But she's also very, since she is, newsflash, she's older. She's the second oldest, or as Tita Baby would like to say, the oldest in our cast. She has talaga, like you can see the wisdom in her years. She has
Mm-mm.
a mature perspective about a lot of things. Pero hindi nawawala yung like joyful spirit niya
Joy,
in any
yes.
conversation. In any conversation.
Yeah. And because I interviewed her as well, that was, yeah. I felt the light.
'Di ba parang bigla-bigla na lang siya magpa-punchline na parang, hala
Oh.
seryoso tayo kanina.
Moving to Zymba Ding.
Zymba Ding, powerhouse. Like, people know Zimba is a really good performer from the show,
Mm-mm.
but for me, at least like from what was shown sa airing, Zimba can do a lot more. Para for me personally, like Zimba is such a talented performer with like a really strong stage presence. And she's actually really sweet. Like
Mm.
Zimba's actually really sweet. People may not pick up on that from the edit,
From the
but Zimba's
edit.
actually really sweet.
Nakita naman namin yung sweetness niya along with the pot steering. Pero
I don't think it's intentionally pot steering though. For me, parang may
aso
times na parang kahit
naturally,
ako parang
naturally pot steering lang.
oo. Hindi, parang may times na parang, Zimba, kailangan mo talaga itanong yan. Pero kasi she's also very parang she has a very vocal curiosity.
Ah.
That's the most I can like parang say about her pot steering. She has a very verbal curiosity. So parang if she wants to get your perspective on something, even though
She'll
it
ask.
might not be, yeah, she'll ask when she feels it.
That's very interesting. A verbal curiosity. Got it. Okay. Moving to Tita Baby.
Oh my God. The love of my life. Charot. Honestly, like she has such a big heart, and I wish they told more of her story. I don't think Tita Baby got as many storylines as maybe I picked up on
Oh.
while we were filming, but Tita Baby has such a big heart. She's gone through so much in life, but she's still so gracefully, graciously kind about it. Parang with everything that she's gone through, that can definitely make someone bitter. It can
Mm-mm,
make
mm-mm.
someone it can make someone toxic, ganyan. But with Tita Baby, she carries it so well. She carries her pain with her so well and is able to still shower everyone around her with so much love and care. Parang whenever I talk to Tita Baby, I always come out of the conversation feeling so validated. Even though she doesn't really say, even though it's not about me, even though we're not talking about me, I always come out of every conversation with Tita Baby feeling just extremely validated as a person.
And that's what a life coach does.
Well, yes. I mean, yes.
My next queen, Angel.
Sunshine. Like, Angel has a presence that can light up a room. Hindi siya mahilig makipag-fight talaga. Si Angel yung parang really became like siguro the central figure of our cast. Kasi, kita naman, kung like,
Oo.
there's definitely a reason why she's the fan favorite. Like, she's probably like the cast favorite too. As in, talaga siya, magaan siyang kasama, and
Mm,
she's so sweet. She's so naturally so funny.
oo.
Parang like siguro on par with si John. Ganun yung
That
talaga,
type of
parang
light.
ang sarap.
Okay.
Oh, ang sarap kasama ni Angel, ang gaan kasama ni Angel.
Oh, nice to hear. We only see what we see, and it's good to see it's real. Anyway. Speaking of real, Khianna.
Khianna, oh my God, out of the box. As in, you'll never know what to expect with her. I think I'm one of the only few that knew Khianna before
Mm-hmm.
coming into
Yeah.
the show. And talagang she still surprises me every week. Like the looks that she brings, parang minsan nagpa-pageant siya, tapos minsan parang like
Mm.
almost alternative, punk rock. As in, she's so out of the box. And it comes so naturally to her. Like she's definitely like in the top 4 for a reason. She's a star. Like I love Khianna so much.
That's so nice to hear. And especially because, again, this goes to show how deep you are into the drag community that you're able to say that you knew Khianna before this also.
Because when we were doing the viewing parties for season 2,
Uh-uh.
on one of the viewing parties, Hannah was like, I have sisters from CDO coming over sa Manila. Okay lang bang if you guys can give her a slot? And we were more than happy to. Kasi parang they really deserve
Oh.
more spotlight than
Mm-mm.
they were getting before Hannah was able to like put them
Yeah.
on the forefront.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. There's a reason why Myx Chanel uplifted the drag community.
Worst choice of words I've ever done in my
It's a bad
entire
choice of
life.
words. The people who processed the words understood that you were trying to say something. I want to tell you that we knew that you were trying to say something. It was just it was a really bad choice of words.
Yes, yes, yes. Agree. Definitely agree.
Last but not least, Maxie.
Honestly, everyone names Maxie as the biggest threat. Like, practically everyone was like, "Who's your biggest threat in the
Mm-mm.
competition?" Maxie, because Maxie, like, not only is she so talented, not only is she like a good singer, a good dancer, a good actress, with really strong stage presence. It's the way that she carries herself. You can feel her experience. Pag nakikita mo siya nag-perform, you can feel the amount of work she's put into this. You can feel her
Mm.
experience. And hindi siya in a way na she's very parang upfront about it. Alam mo yun,
Humble,
parang
humble.
basta alam mong may tinatago siyang alas. Alam mo at all times na what you're seeing, may tinatago pa siyang alas about it.
Interesting.
What?
And
Were you expecting me?
I was
Were
expecting
you expecting me to
mga
say other
shady
things?
things. Joke.
I say shade in jest. A lot of the things I said that made it to air. A lot of the confessionals that I gave that made it to air. Like I say a lot of them in jest. Like I don't know
Uh-oh.
if you can tell from my body language or from me laughing at what I say while I say it. I say a lot of things in just because parang we're on Drag Race. We're asked questions. We're expected to give certain answers, and I try to give the
Mm.
TV that they want to get out of me. But like I have such a huge love for the girls, as in parang after the filming, I left with such gratitude that I got to be part of this cast. Because honestly, this is an amazing set of queens and an
Mm.
amazing set of girls, and I'm just so happy I got to be part of it and that I got to know each one of them a little more than I would have probably if like sa mga gigs lang kami nagkikita.
And it's great to hear also from your own words the kind of behind the scenes of your relationships with each of them.
Parang I just have a lot of love for each of them. Like with me, parang you know, despite everything that has made it onto the show that has come out, we've also been able to like work on parang alam namin na nandun lang siya lahat. Like kung
Mm.
ano man yung nangyari sa show, we all know that it happened on the show and it's not really like deeply personal.
Yeah, and I think again, it depends on which audience we're talking about. I think it translated naman for people like me, like maybe mga I'm gonna call myself mga old school drag race people who watch older drag race stuff also. Um like it's great seeing you in the viewing parties, your collab for example with Zymba on the Wicked thing, especially if the next episode nag-aaway kayo pero to people who would think of timelines, they'll be thinking, oh, so hindi na sila nag-aaway. Anyway, maybe I guess we're getting to the point of what is your final message to the fans. I know that because you have your own podcast, you've probably said a lot of things already to them. So this is maybe to a smaller audience, which is my audience. Pero,
I mean, you're doing great numbers. I've checked out your YouTube. You're doing great with the views, really.
specifically for
Quick
Drag Race
message for the
Philippines,
fans.
yes.
I'm just very grateful for the support. You know, parang I didn't come into this thinking na parang, oh, I'm gonna be fan favorite. People are gonna love me. People are gonna eat me up. I didn't really come into that thinking that. I came into this parang ready to take what I can get, basically. I looked at Drag Race as a platform to, like better my
Mhm.
reach, open up some more opportunities, further my career, be able to have access to, you know, kumbaga parang I looked at Drag Race as a way na after this I can dream bigger. And I'm just so grateful for like everyone that has chosen to support me. Kasi I mean, I wouldn't really have gotten to where I am now without the people supporting me. And I won't really get anywhere further if it's not for people that continue to support me or like new people that have grown to like really support my craft and my career. So I'm just really thankful for the people that do choose to be on my side. Yung mga Myx Chanel apologists dyan, mga Myx Chanel defender dyan, I'm very, very grateful for each and every one of you. Because I'm not a delusional person. I'm sometimes a delusional for fun. Sometimes I'm delusional for the plot. But I like to think I'm a self-aware person. And when what has been shown of me on the show, like, it is what it is. Really, parang, I don't want to I don't want to come out of Drag Race being bitter na parang, oh, I was portrayed in a certain way. They made me look a certain way. I'm like, no, I want to come out of this experience with gratitude. With gratitude for the opportunity. With gratitude to, like, the people involved that called the shots and like allowed me to be on the show in the first place. Like, as much as, I have parang, as much as I have built a career on like being the drag race nerd that I am, it's like it was just such an amazing experience to get to be on your favorite show. Yeah, ayun, parang I just want to come out of this experience with a lot of gratitude because despite all of the like the online noise, despite the drama that people want to push,
Sorry
um,
na. Joke.
I've gotten more good than bad.
Mhm.
I have so many work opportunities now that I probably wouldn't have gotten had I not gotten on the show. And I'm just so grateful to get to do all of this. What other dream am I allowed to have now?
Yeah, that was a great final message, by the way. And it was really great getting to talk to you and peel behind the curtain, so to speak. And I do want to say, like, from my end, Rin, like, I had always looked forward to number one, your confessionals, because you are that
Get
drag
so
race
much
nerd.
airtime.
You were that drag race nerd, right? You were that person who would literally set up an episode because you would have some trivia about it. And then I think they were able to use a lot of that for the show. So number one, that I also want to, your runway package was amazing. So that too.
That was I had so much fun. Like preparing for the show, I had so much fun. Finally getting to cash in on all of the parang, when you're a fan of the show and
Uh-uh.
you talk with your friends, parang, oh, if there was this category, I would do this. I
Uh-uh.
would do
Uh-uh.
that. I would pull out this concept. Parang finally getting to cash in on all of those banked ideas in your head. That was such a delight. Like I had so much fun working on my package.
Yeah, and I think it showed. It really showed. And I also just want to echo, despite whatever noise there is, there are people who appreciated you, and I think there are more people who appreciate you than the noise that's over there in Twitter.
Again, it is what it is.
It is what it is. The noise will die down. But thank you so much, Mix, for your time. And I know you're busy planning out a lot of things. Can you tell the viewers where to find you?
It's just at Myx Chanel or at Myx.Chanel everywhere. I tried to make it cohesive for everyone.
My branding, guys.
And yeah, yeah, and also like again, not to be the girl that plugs her podcast, but I mean, alam niyo na yun, alam niyo na yun. Check it out if you want to.
Bekenemen! So yes, thank you so much, Mix. Please, to all the viewers who have watched until this moment, bless book Myx Chanel, shower her with love. And if you have hate to shower her with, please don't at her.
It was a learning experience to not look myself up on Twitter. I had to learn the hard way.
Oh
I
no.
think probably by episode 3. Honestly, like that's another thing I don't understand. Whenever someone wins a lip sync,
Oo.
automatically it's like
Mag-ano
even though
sila.
we were just asked to do a thing that para alam mo yun,
Ikaw pa
may
yung
pinagawa lang sa amin na
nabe-blame.
challenge. One of us won. Oo, parang bakla, hindi ko po gustong tanggalin si Versex sa totoong buhay lang. Like, I was so
They came
sad.
for
I was so
you.
sad she was eliminated. But yeah. Yeah, I had to learn by episode 3 na parang don't look yourself up online ever.
Sorry, I just want to say also that lip sync for with Versex, I was so in love with you when you showed your nipples and your ano, I don't know, you had something on the nipples. Parang sabi
Yeah.
ko, oh my God, she won.
I mean, the lip sync for your life. Like, girl, when you lip sync for your life, it really feels like you're on death row and all you have to do to get out of that is lip
It's
sync.
the lip sync.
You just pull out all the stops.
Anyway, ayan. Thank you so much, Myx Chanel. Please like and subscribe, everyone. And we'll see you during the finale or after. Bye for
See you.
now.
Thank you.
Somebody's opinion.